Hey guys, we're the ECB team, and today we're going to react on Eurovision 2024. Let's dive into semifinal one, its running order, and let's give our very first prediction. Let's get started.
Let's get
Let's
started.
it.
So, semifinal one will be held on the 7th of May. 15 countries will try the luck and will try to conquer the audience, but we have only 10 spots for them in the final. Let's discuss together and discover what do we think about the running order and who do we think will qualify and who will not. So we'll start with the countries that all of us have agreed on, and we're gonna talk about them shortly in a random order. The first country we're gonna revise will be Ukraine. Vani, please tell us shortly why do you think Ukraine will qualify?
Uh, First of all, Ukraine always qualifies because they really send very uh, nice, decent, and competitive songs. I don't think this is a potential top three of the semifinal.
I absolutely agree with you. I think there is no doubt about that kind of song. For sure, they will have to work a little bit about the chemistry between the two of them, but still, we know that Ukraine is one of the queen of stages of staging at Eurovision. So I'm sure they're gonna deliver. And yeah, I think the song is really likable. Like you can't ignore it. George, anything to add, please?
I agree with both of you. I also think that the televote will definitely go for it because it brings ethnic elements and it's a beautiful, you know, anthemic song that we need this year.
Agree. Okay, so the next one all of us gonna talk about will be Lithuania. I will start maybe. So I think it was a boulder in a very early stages of that season. Also, it was very unique one to root for in the Lithuanian selection. Yeah, the dancing, the shoulder movements are really catchy. I like the fact that it's in the foreign language, but still impress a lot of people. Uh, yeah, and also like even though it's a hard song because it has like quite high rate and it requires a lot like to a very curvy production, let's call it like that. And he has delivered. We already have seen him performing it live both in the per parties and also in the selection. Yeah, and for me, it's also a contender to finish in the top three of top four of that semi. George, please.
Yeah. First of all, I think Lithuania is really taking the contest more seriously. They're trying a lot. Good stagings, performers that can actually stand on the stage and slay. Also, Silvester is a good vocalist and performer. He fills all the criteria, and I don't see why people wouldn't pick up the phone and vote for it. It's a banger.
Vani.
Yeah, I tend to agree with both of you. I think you said everything. I think this is also going to be the top three of the semifinal.
Anything you will guys like to add about the running order? Lithuania will perform in the third position. Do you think it can somehow influence, or it will
Oh,
be kind
no,
of
I don't
so?
think so.
Yeah,
Personally.
learning from Brunette last year, it doesn't matter if you have a good song. I think that's what the producers try to say to the fans and everyone this year as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and also think like the transition between the quite calm but high quality ballad of Serbia to that one immediately, which is almost the opposite, like regarding the template list. So I think it can help both songs to be bolder, even though both of them got not a very successful position. But yeah, I tend to agree that in that case, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's move on to another one that we all agreed about. This is Croatia. George, why do you think Croatia is a certain qualifier?
I think that Croatia has everything filled when it comes to a 100% televoting semifinal. It, I think it will be the winner of the semifinal, actually, if I dare to say. Of course, without knowing any rehearsals. But the song is addictive. It's a televote pleaser. Baby Lasagna has charisma on stage, and he's improving a lot. It's say something, of course.
Vani, please.
I tend to agree. I think, and personally, that song grew on me even more than the video we did about Croatia. So No, it's a catchy song. I can't see why people would not vote it for it. It also has a very relatable message to the newer people, like 20s to 30s. They leave the home, and the good thing, the song is in English, and that actually makes it even more accessible. And I don't know. I also think this could be a winner or a top three of the semifinal. I think the top three is Lithuania, Ukraine, and Croatia, most likely.
Yeah, I tend to agree with your prediction as well about the top three in that order or another one though. Uh, yeah, I think it got the full package. Text is meaningful. It's sketchy. Many people follow the idea. Also, Baby Lasagna is quite of I don't know, really likable, and that's always can work for him. And I think that the running order is really good. They actually closed the first half of semifinal one, so like producer wanted to be as late as they can within that frame of the first half. Also, let's confess the song before it's not one of the strongest, which is Poland. So I think it just can't help it be more and more to stand out. Okay, there is another one that we all agree. So actually, just for the sake of statistics, the three of us at least, agreed on 7 of the songs to be certain qualifiers. We have covered 3 so far. So the 4 will be again in a very random order, Luxembourg. So I will start maybe. I think that first of all, the fact that Luxembourg returned to the contest will somehow increase the hype. Also, closing semifinal is usually a good thing. Not always working, but most of the time, yeah. Uh, yeah, kind of a pop summerish song with a very good vibe. The message very general, but in a good way, like that anyone can put his own, relations and ideas and perspective about that one. She's a good performer, I believe. I know, and well, I'm not know, but I think that she will come on stage with dancers. And in the Luxembourg Euro Song Contest, it worked perfectly. So I see no reason why it won't proceed. Yeah, and also the combination of languages is really cute here, the French and English. Vani, why do you think Luxembourg is a contender to proceed?
I think it's actually a fresh closure. Whether I like it or not, it's a really fresh song that could like, and I think people really like this kind of pop songs. They remind of summer, just like the Polycentury last year solo. I think it reminds me a little bit of this, but well, Luxembourg is not Poland when it comes to the diaspora, etc. But still, I do think that Tali has talent, and I don't know, she can really sell that song, and I do think although it could be better, it's a really nice contender to finish in the top 7 of the semifinal, top 6, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So an easy qualification.
George?
Yeah, you basically covered everything with both of you. Also, I think that um Tali has something likable on camera, like she's really connecting to the audience, like, come and dance with us. I think that's what she brought in Luxembourg Song Contest, and she will be even more prepared. Like, she was the performance that was most ready for Eurovision, as to say. So yeah, I expect a lot.
Awesome. The next one we all agreed on was Finland. George, please continue and tell us why do you think Finland gonna qualify?
Yeah. Well, I judged them like objectively. I should no, yeah, objectively. I don't like Finland, but I think it's the televote song that is always there and always surprises, especially in the televote score in the semifinals. They have something that will make people enjoy themselves, maybe even dance, because it has also a vibe from another decade, the 80s, and people like these entries a lot. I think it will struggle with jury, but jury is not here, so yeah, all the way to the final, in my opinion.
Yeah, so actually, I almost totally agree with you that time. Is one of my non-favorite songs this year, unfortunately, because I don't find it entertaining, let's say like that, even though it should be. And I don't like this kind of songs, but I want to separate my own prediction from my own opinion because it's about prediction and not about ranking. So yeah, I think, all the things with the flame and the fact that he lost his panties or pants or whatever should somehow, unfortunately and sadly, to advance because people like that kind of circus, if may I say. Song itself is not that strong. Like it's typical 90s, but not on the strong aspect, I think. And also, I find their vocal performance problematic, at least in the UMK. So I don't know. Let's give him a chance to perform better, I hope. But yeah, I think like the vocal won't matter in that kind, at least in the semi. And also, it's televote magnet. I want to remind you that it won the televote in the UMK in a huge gap, but was last with the jury. And I think that ironically, the same image gonna be very similar in the final. Like they're gonna be ranked very low by the jury and ranked quite good, let's say, with televote. But yeah, so that's why I think it's gonna advance. Vani, please, why do you think Finland gonna qualify?
Yeah, I tend to agree with all of you. I don't dislike this song as much as you do, but it's still not among my favorites. Uh, but I do think I can recognize the fun. Actually, I could have a good time seeing this on the Eurovision stage because the Windows guy coming out of an egg, a shell type, and the other guy, his vocals are not that good indeed. But he tries. This is a difficult song, I think, especially the last caress. But I do think there's something funny in that song, maybe a bit too ridiculous, but I think people like the stuff. So yeah. And also Finland like won the televoting last year, so it would be too weird not to even qualify in the next year. So yeah.
Yeah, agree. Okay, there are still two that we haven't spoken among the certain qualifiers. Next one will be Ireland. I know you're living a lie. So maybe I will start. I think it's quite quirky, and maybe that's what helped. Also, Heil Ireland hasn't visited the grand final for something like 6 years, right? Right. The last one was Ryan O'Shaughnessy. Um, it's very divisive, but at Eurovision being divisive, it's quite good because it means that you can raise both positive emotions but also negative one. So everyone will talk about them, I think, for good or for bad. I still wanted it to be more precisely on the vocal aspect. For example, the shouts should be, I don't know, more pleasant, let's say, and they can be. But yeah, I can't see that song with a kind of a promising staging. Also, transition between different genres might help. I don't know. And yeah, maybe the whole witchy package somehow will contribute here. Again, very divisive one, but I think at least for qualifications should work. Vani, please.
Yeah, I agree. Although I think it'll be like borderline qualification more likely, not really that comfortable. Because I do think Ireland uh, is really quirky, as you said, and I do see some artistic talent in Bambie's presence. They need to express it better than the national selection, though. I've seen some of the videos of the pre-parties stuff and see they are evolving. They're getting better. So I do think they can actually go on. Why not?
George, please, about Ireland again.
Yeah. Well, Ireland is my last place, but I can see why it's a favorite to qualify. Also, why I said it will qualify. So, I think Ireland found the recipe of the weird in the most unique way this year. Um, I think she definitely, no, sorry, they should definitely lessen the screams because they can sing. We have seen it in parties. They can sing. It ruins the whole mystery of the song. Make it more funny. I don't know. Add some weird laughs, for example. You don't need to scream in pain because all the time, at least. Um, they said they will bring a good staging. I really hope so because I like when countries finally get a better place because they actually try something different. and Arden is doing it this year. Yeah, I try to watch from a point of view of the viewer, and I think some people will go for it. Borderline though.
All right.
May I
Yeah,
add
sure.
something like I love the a little bit more version of that song.
Yeah, me too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You win the one which serve more laid back with the piano, etc., right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so beautiful
that
because the
one.
lyrics of the song are really meaningful, actually. It speaks of our generation. They want something less than they deserve and stuff.
Yeah, I think it can be a perfect jazz song, by the way. And I
Yeah.
like jazz.
Perfect jazz song,
Also,
yeah.
she has some background in jazz, I think. Not only this Oja pop, which he relates which sorry, they relate themselves as the one of the genres. But yeah, I think it will be if it will be more balanced, but still unique, it can really do well. But at the moment, we have to see. All right, we have only another last qualifier to discuss, which we all agreed about, and then we're gonna split. So it's gonna be interesting. So the last one, and actually I must say it's not the three of us, it's two and a half on us. It's Serbia. I will start maybe because for me, Serbia it's really the borderline. Unfortunately, I like it. It's almost in my top 10, not there. I mean, in the whole list, not only semifinal one. But I don't know. I must tell that I woke yesterday morning, and since then I started to worry about Serbia. I don't know why, but something about my guts tell me that it's not as certain as I thought for, as I wish for. It's not only about the running order, which is number two, and it's not perfect for sure, but also it's about the voting, the way it's managed, because we have only the public, and I'm really worried that public won't really estimate as it should or appreciate, sorry, that word, the quality of the song. I'm really worried about that one. It's a ballad. It's not the only ballad in that semi, and I don't know, might be too soon because thereafter we have some bold song or bangers or whatever. We have Ukraine, Croatia, Lithuania, all of them, Ireland, all of them are after, not directly after, but somewhere after. And I'm really afraid it's gonna be forgotten. They're lucky that they will have Slovenia and Croatia. It's probably gonna get them get from them quite a lot of points, and also that the Serbian diaspora in, for example, Germany and Sweden can help. But I'm not sure it's gonna be enough. Like for me, I voted that it will be a qualifier, but there is another country which we're gonna mention later on that for me competed on the 10th spot in that semi. So I was really confused, and then at the end of the day, I chose Serbia as one to advance, but I'm not really sure it's gonna advance, even though. George, please.
Yeah, so I think Serbia is qualifying. Well, not in the top five, of course, because I think jury will appreciate this song much more than the public. But it has a lot of friendly countries in the semifinal. Teya Dora sings amazingly well live, and the public tend to like some ballads like that, and especially when they are performed well and with a good staging. And if Pesma's Eurovision staging was so good, I think in Malmö it will be even more interactive, like a music video or something. So I trust Serbia to serve this year as well.
I wish for it. Vani, please.
Well, yeah. I do think that Teya is one of the few purely flawless artists this year. So I can't imagine it being out of the finals. Like, not a comfortable qualification, but still, I don't know, this song is too soothing. And between all those poppy, glammy, rocky songs, I think this can have its own public. Also, Croatia, Slovenia probably going to give this like 18 points or something. I think this is kind of famous in other countries as well. So I don't know. I tend to believe this is a quite certain qualifier, and I really love it. I hope she does it.
I hope as well. She's one of my favorites in that semi, but really not sure about that one. But now we're officially gonna split. So before we split, maybe we'll start with a very negative dose, but there are two countries that weren't included in each one of us predictions, only two, that we all agree are out, actually, as sad as it is. The first one is Moldova. So, Vani, please, why do you think Moldova is out?
I'll just say one thing. Because the song is in the middle, both literally and metaphorically, because I just get nothing from that song. It's just there, like it just exists. I do really hope though she slays with the show, so it doesn't finish like last in the semifinal. It gets some more points. They have Ukraine, okay, they have Azerbaijan that could vote for them, but I don't know. I don't think this one can compete for the final. I think it'll be bottom three of the semifinal.
Yeah, I possibly agree with you, unfortunately. Natalia Barbu is a great artist, and I'm sure she's gonna deliver vocally. But first of all, I don't know, the song has changed several times since the season has started, that revamp and the other revamp and so on and so forth. And then she's also talked in the Moldovan television that she's not sure even if she's gonna be accompanied by her backing vocalists, dancers, or whatever. So I don't know. And also, I can't really see it staged in a very convincing way. Okay, maybe they can add some effects and put her with violin, fine, but will it be enough? I'm not sure. Um, yeah, and also like she's between in the middle of Finland and Sweden in the running order. Both songs that many people are gonna talk about. Not sure the same applies for the Moldovan song, so that's why I think it's out. But George, I would like to hear from you. Why do you think Moldova won't qualify, at least at the moment?
Yeah, Moldova has done how many revamps? Three, two? Yeah. They are so in the middle, as you said, guys. Not hating it, not liking it. It's just there. Like when entries are just there, it's far worse than when you hate them. Like she has only her voice, her only weapon. We don't know what the staging will be. We don't know what she is going to do up there. It's sad actually because I was looking forward to her coming back someday, but it wasn't with something like that, definitely. Yeah, it's bottom three for me in the semi as well.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, Will, sorry about that.
of
Okay, there
course.
is another one that all of us agree it's out, but actually I want to put a disclaimer again because do you remember that I told you that I was really in the middle between um, Serbia and another country who were gonna qualify? So this is my another one. So probably not sure that each one of us agree, but I had to reduce my list to only 10, right? Play it fair. So the next country is Australia, actually. So I think I will start because mine is the most complicated, I guess. I think it will end something between the 9 to 12 in the semifinal, probably 11 according to that video. But I can see it still Serbia plays or vice versa at the moment. I don't know. The song, I feel like not that many people connect with that. But also on the other hand, I can say that Electric Fields, the vocalist there, is the one that really can create a moment on the stage. Also, we have no clue about staging because there is only this very simple video clip. So maybe they can prepare something very convincing on the staging show. But still not sure about that one. To finalize, I would just say that Australia doesn't usually excel with televote. I mean, yeah, last year they won their semis, that's right. But we all see how it crashed on the final. So I'm not sure that Australia has the power to be a televote powerhouse or something like that. And also, they don't have much alliance. There are not like a lot of countries who vote almost blindly to Australia. They have UK, Sweden, and Australia, and sorry, and Ireland in that semi, which is already a good start. But no one told they will do it again for them. So that's why I'm really torn about it one. But at the end, I left it out. Let's see how it proceeds in the rehearsals. George, why do you think Australia is out?
Well, I'm a bit worried about the staging and the fact that Australia is not even trying to promote their entry this year. I don't know why. The vocals will be power because we have seen them sing in the national final before. But I can't see the televoters pick up their phones and vote for it because it's not even friendly to the European music ear. I I think you get what I mean, guys. I think it will get a similar result to the televote score of Montaigne in 2021. So you got like only 2 points. And yes, she had Sweden and Ireland as well there. So it doesn't matter. Australia will definitely struggle this year. We hope the staging is amazing as always, but I can see it getting through.
Mm-hmm. Anything with Vani about Australia?
Yeah, well, they won last year the semifinal. I think the position helped them also. And the fact that that song was a lot better, more memorable, and more interesting than what we see this year. I personally, I have to admit, my last place this year since its release, by the way. And honestly, that's the thing I'm going to say is objective though, not subjective. This entry, I can't imagine a good staging for it. And also, I don't know, I think there's just too much shouting there. Like the Milkali, like entertaining the gods. I think it's so shouty and needlessly shouting, actually. That's the full song. And I don't think it'll do that bad, like George said, but I don't think that's going to be in the top 10 of the semifinal. I think maybe around 12th, maybe 11th place. I can't imagine it higher, though. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Interesting part. Let's talk about countries that some of us think will qualify, while the others think not. So again, very randomly, let's start with Cyprus. So please, guys, raise your hand who think that Cyprus is gonna qualify. All right, two of us. So the rule is that Vani should start. Vani, why do you think Cyprus is out?
Well, I tended to believe that they will qualify until I saw Ireland's chances being higher and Bambie becoming better, because I was always thinking that it's either Cyprus or Ireland. And I don't know, I think that song is opening and it's a bad position for them because, yes, it's going to be the first song of Eurovision, but Ronella was also the first song of Eurovision 2 years ago and she didn't qualify. And also, I do think that the songs coming after are stronger. And not all songs from a half can qualify. Like some have to be left out. And I think Cyprus, in terms of musical completion, is the least competitive alongside with Poland from that half. So I'll just say that. But I do hope she qualifies. I really do hope she qualifies because he's amazing.
All right, George, now your objection. Why do you think Cyprus is in?
Well, I think it was a perfect song to open Eurovision 2024 alongside Lithuania maybe. It's a good opener, like a good fresh, not that fresh, sorry. A good pop song that's like known between the people. Silia is charismatic. She knows how to perform on stage. She has also improved very much from that party in Amsterdam. And I don't know, I think the younger audience will click with her a lot. I can see it uh, being one of the entries that score well in the tell of the semifinal, but not that much in the grand final, actually.
Mm-hmm. So I think, yeah, I actually almost agree with you. I think that opening the semi is a good position for Cyprus regarding the type of the song, etc. Also, yeah, regarding like pure pop songs, we don't have a lot in that semi. There is a lot of like out of the box songs, let's say, right? Like Ireland and Finland, even Croatia a bit, although Croatia is more, let's say, rocky. But I think that all people who like really are looking for something which is on the one hand radio friendly, but on the other hand catchy, will find a hops in Cyprus. I also think she's gonna deliver on stage with all the dancing, etc. Like they said that that's how they prepared the song to be staging ready. So I think it will be. Yeah, I believe she's in the moment. Okay, so this is for side. Now let's move on to another country that only two of us thinks gonna qualify, and that country will be Slovenia. So please, guys, raise your hand who thinks Slovenia will qualify. Okay, again, the same forum. George, please start you this time.
Well, I think I can see why some people think Slovenia will struggle and might not qualify because it's not the song that televoters will get magnetic from it, but there is something unique about it. The performance of Raven is always on point. And you know what? I think when people see that story on stage, they're going to get really excited by her talent, the talent of the singer, of course. And, as a composition, it's something we have not seen in the contest. It's really original, especially the magical siren vibe it has. It will help a lot if they progress on stage.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Actually, it's one of my top three that year. So that's why I want to believe it qualified. I can see why people might find it on the fence, let's say. Also, statistically wisely, Slovenia is not one of the strongest country with televoting. So I am worried, but I want to believe that having both Croatia and Serbia will help them to push through. Uh, from what I know, I think they're gonna retrieve somehow the video clip on the stage with the dancers, etc. I believe it will be a dark side and something very mysterious on the atmosphere. And yeah, Raven is easily one of the best vocalists this year. So combining all of these together, I believe it will help her. Also, sorry, not sorry, but I think coming after Iceland will help her to stand out because Iceland has very specific line it goes, and this one goes very uniquely. So combining all these together, I believe she most likely will qualify. But yeah, I tend to agree it won't lead the televote. So it won't be like an easy battle. Hopefully, jury will help it to be ranked higher in the final if it qualifies. Vani, now justify why do you think Slovenia is out?
Well, it's not an easy decision to begin with. I do think that, well, 13 songs can qualify from that semifinal. But Slovenia had to be left out just for a little bit because I think I see the Eurovision fans really loving that song. But I do think this is a song which is specifically made for Eurovision fans. I don't know why. I do think that the general public will not appreciate this as much. Like, yeah, some people will like the mysticity, the mystery behind the century, but I do think it's too mysterious. I don't know how that does not sound. I think some people might find it even too kitsch from the mystery. Like, this is a good entry, definitely, but it's not. I couldn't imagine like someone saying, "Okay, Slovenia is my favorite. I'm going to vote for this." Uh, Also, yeah, Slovenia is not really that strong in the televote as well. Last year they sent some guys, they were way more televote. This song was way more televote friendly to be honest. Although I generally like this year's song more, but this is just my opinion. And I don't know, I think this is a bit of too much art for the average listener to comprehend. I do think that people go with more shallow or more catchy rhythms to vote for. But she's a good vocalist, and I wouldn't mind seeing this in the final either.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have another one which only two of us agree gonna qualify, and this is Portugal. So please raise your hand, the ones who think Portugal will be in. All right, finally things change about the combination. George, you are the first to talk. Please justify why Portugal will be out.
Well, actually, I'm one of the people that love Portugal's entry, but I think that people won't be motivated to vote for this song because um it's not something that goes well with the ears of the average viewer. it will be confusing to some people. When you get to listen it for the first time, you either love it or you don't get it. And I can see other songs being more dominating in the televote score, and Portugal tends to get overlooked sometimes. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not qualifying. That's why actually I think it won't qualify, but it will be a borderline non-qualifying.
So I think that this is more a song the jury will like. So again, if it qualifies perfect, maybe jury will help it to be even ranked very decently. But we don't have jury sadly in the final, in the semifinal. Sorry. Um, I don't know. I think what convinced me the most, besides the fact that I like the song, is that the transition, the execution on stage with the modern dancers, etc., was really powerful. They really tell the story. And also running order is quite good. They almost close the second to last in the running order. They're quite separated from the rest of the ballads, let's say, or things, I don't know, similar to ballads. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the fact that Luxembourg also voted in that semi will help because there is kind of a Portuguese minority, or even not that minority, but whatever, who lives in Luxembourg. So probably they will somehow vote for that. Um, yeah, again, not an easy battle, but I believe it will end towards the favor of Portugal. But yeah, to be honest, I also can see a scenario when it's shocking non-qualifier or whatever. So I can see why you told the things he told. Vani, what do you think Portugal is in?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Doron, and also the Luxembourg part. I think it's a definite 12 actually to Portugal, not just because so many Portuguese people living in Luxembourg, it's tough. But I have also to say that I will connect Slovenia's opinion to Portugal, and I think that those songs are kind of similar, but Iolanda's voice is more soulful, and I do think that the stage is clearer. If she keeps the white outfit and the white visuals and stuff, I think it's more simple and and perfect for the viewer. So I do think that Portugal has more chance to qualify to the final than to not qualify. So yeah, I am. Yes, I think Portugal is in the final for another year, for the fourth year in a row. That's a nice trick.
Yeah, it's actually a very good achievement for them because they tend to not qualify a lot of times, especially in the, let's say, in the middle of the last decade. But now
Yeah.
they go on a good trick. I agree. All right, so we covered another country which only two of us agree. And now we have only one option. Yeah, that's right. We have actually, yeah, we have three countries that on each of them, only one of us thinks they're going to qualify while the another not. So, yeah, maybe let's start with Poland. So there is only one of us who thinks Poland going to qualify. Who is that guy? Right, our
Me.
Georgie. George, please start and justify your opinion.
Well, I find the song to be a bit forgettable, a lot forgettable actually, but it's one of these songs that also radio friendly, like it's pleasing to the ear. It's not gaining attention, but the diaspora of the Polish community is huge. It has a lot of friends in the semifinal: Lithuania, Ukraine, even Croatia and Slovenia have some Polish people. United Kingdom and Ireland have a lot of Polish community. Even Iceland, yeah, the biggest minority after Icelanders is the Polish community in Iceland. And I think they will gain a lot of points. So yeah, I think actually the reason I think it's qualifying is the diaspora. And they said they are bringing a good stage and something unique in Malmö. So yeah, I'm certainly positive about it.
Mhm. So I really thought the same as you several weeks ago, but I learned to see that live performance is not that good. Like I don't want to say she screwed, but it wasn't that far from that. That vocally just didn't pass the test for me. Like I was really disappointed, if may I say, of the execution on stage. And I think that, to be honest, no matter what staging it will bring, if vocally it will be once again not that good on the live performance, then Poland really distance themselves from the final. I do agree there is a lot of, for Poland, this is the most friendly semifinal they can ever imagine. First of all, it's the weakest of the two, let's face it. And second of all, yeah, the countries that you have stated are the perfect borders from Lithuania, Ukraine, UK, Ireland, etc., etc. A lot of countries which has Polish minority or kind of countries with relation to Poland. But I don't know. For me, it just will help them to end 11th place or something like that. I'm not sure qualifying, because I do believe that even those diaspora, etc., will be really magneted by the other songs, which gonna grab a lot of votes, like Ukraine, Croatia, Lithuania, even maybe Ireland and Finland. So that's why I think it won't be enough. I think the friendly countries will give 2 points here, 3 points there, etc. But it really will be very on the fence. So I think if they qualify, they will be from the 10th place, something like that, just due to diaspora. But at the moment, I think even though the diaspora, it won't proceed. Vani, why do you think Poland is out?
Yeah, I personally think Poland's song is a bit too predictable for the people to vote. And also, I think it's kind of a winter song where we are in May and people would like more fun songs. And this is not a ballad, but it's not a pop either. It's like another song in the middle. But I definitely think that they have a chance, but I tend to think for now they're out. Like they can get like 40 points in total in the semifinal, but I don't think this will be enough for this year's competition because we see a nice semifinal compared to last year's semifinal, at least. So yeah, I tend to think they are out.
All right, another country waiting for our review. It's another one that only one of us thinks gonna proceed, and this is Azerbaijan. Who was the one who thinks Azerbaijan gonna qualify? All right, Vani. So it's your turn again. Please explain.
Yeah. I don't know. This is something that we haven't seen in Eurovision, actually. Those guys, FAHREE has lovely vocal, and the duo, the ethnic character of the song with the Mugam part by Ilkin, and I don't know, I think probably people who are Turkish in diaspora terms will hear their language, like almost not really their language, but their Azerbaijani and Turkish are very similar. And I can imagine those people supporting the country, and not only because this is also given a very positive vibe. It's a very calm song and definitely very original entry with and I have heard somewhere that the staging will be very impressive. So I can see why it could not qualify. I mean, it's perfect. Probably I'm just a bit biased, but I do think it's gonna scrap at least in the 9th place of the semifinal stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's possible, but when I have to, to shorten my list to 10 places only, it missed it. Not, it wasn't one of the clear non-qualifiers, let's say, for me. But unfortunately, yeah, that's the way it ended at the end of the day. I just think that even though this ethnic vibe is very unique, there are in other countries, for example, I don't know, Ukraine brings something very ethnic. So I believe that most of the people who search for something ethnic will go there, not Azerbaijan. Also, Azerbaijan really struggled when it comes to televotes, at least in the recent years. It had happened with Nadir and the twins last year, and actually more cases. So they usually push through due to jury, at least in the recent years. We don't have jury in that semi. I do think the song is really, different from the others. It's not quirky, it's not rock, it's not pop, it's not radio friendly. But yeah, in the composition of that semi, which actually we barely have any Balkan countries, for example, it will really be difficult to advance. I do see, for example, Ukraine, Moldova, and maybe Cyprus as well supporting that one. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm not sure that, again, no racism or something like that. But I think that the most Western countries won't appeal that one. For example, I can't see UK, Australia, Ireland, and I know even Sweden voting for that one. So that's how I calculated the chances here. George, why do you think Azerbaijan is out?
I agree with you, actually. I can't see Western Europe voting for this song because it's more like something too foreign for them. Like it will definitely get the attention of Turkic diaspora, but Azerbaijan hasn't that connection with the televote, and that song is one of these occasions. A few people are going to get it, and I don't know. I think they will struggle. People tend to wait for a bop from Azerbaijan nowadays.
Yeah, actually, when it went antique and was upbeat, it went better. Like
Yeah.
always, for example, and not only. Okay,
Even
last.
Matahari finished sixth in the televote of the semifinal.
Yeah, and it was a very competitive one at the semi, I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So last but not least, we have Iceland. Who was the brave guy who predicted Iceland gonna qualify?
I
Or
feel it coming.
so I feel that coming from you, please explain why do you think Iceland is in?
First of all, I feel it coming. It's one of the few catchphrases of that semifinal. And I think, well, secondly, seriously now, I do think older people will like this for some reason because it's a Schlager type entry. And also, we have Hera Björk being an amazing vocalist. Even in 51 years old, she's still slaying as much as she did in 2010 with the Magnificent Je ne sais quoi. Well, this song is not as magnificent, definitely, but it's still a cute attempt. I do think that this song, for some reason, emits good vibes. And it's a very cute song, tends to, and I don't know, I think the younger people would not like it because it sounds too oldish, but why Finland is going to qualify with ease and Iceland not? I think they are both like in the same spectrum of old nostalgia vibes from the older people, but Finland can also appeal to the younger people, but Iceland won't. But I do think also they have very friendly countries for them in the semifinal, like Germany, Sweden, Finland, probably even Lithuania, I don't know. Uh, well, and I do think that she's a lovely artist and a very lovely person. And I do think that it emits through the song. And well, I can't see it being higher than ninth, maybe 10th in the semifinal. Actually, I think this is going to be the 10th place of the semifinal or 11th, but I tend to 10th for now.
Mhm. So a very interesting analysis, I must confess. Uh, yeah, I do believe that having some Nordics countries in that semi will somehow help. For example, maybe Sweden and Finland will give some points. But yeah, I just feel the song isn't like competitive enough in order to advance beyond others, let's say. For example, I think that if Slovenia is a question mark here, Iceland should get a much bigger question mark, for example, based on quality. Hera Björk is amazing. She's a very good vocalist and lovely. And I like her vibe and her approach to life, actually. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that, unfortunately, the period of kind of the Schlager pops songs at Eurovision has actually passed. We had it until 2010 or something like that, but now it's gone. Now it's more like to be more quirky or special or whatever, or even upbeat, actually. And I think this song doesn't tick any of those boxes I mentioned here. Um, yeah, also like she's after Croatia, so I believe people will still have the aftermath of Baby Lasagna when they try to judge that one. And she's followed by, well, Germany, it's not really competing, but whatever, it's still something to consider, but also Slovenia after. So I believe that sequence of acts won't really help her, especially the first one, Croatia. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see a lot of people follow that song currently this season. So that's why I'm already, it's like almost officially out. but I would like to have Iceland. George, please. Why do you think Iceland is out?
I don't want to be cruel. Big love to Hera, but it's giving me Ember's vibes. Like the public won't like it a bit. It's too oldish. I don't know. It gives nostalgia. She's amazing on stage, but I can see somebody picking up a phone saying, "Oh my God, that's my favorite," or even say, "Oh my God, it's my second favorite or my third option." And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised even with a zero.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it's like when you see a song not being one of the favorites, and also the producers putting it after one of the biggest favorites, like it feels like a filler after some time, which is sad actually, because Hero is amazing. And even if people won't like his song, I'm sure they're going to smile for her perform at her performance.
Yeah, I agree. But let's see if it will be enough. All right, so it was a quite enjoyable journey here of the few of us. By the way, last question. Um, who do you think are the countries that got the most damage from the running order? And who are the countries, which are the countries that you think got the best or one of the best running orders in that semi? George.
Well, I will speak about the damage first. I think Teya Dora got big damage, even though I believe it won't hurt your chances that much. And also, which else? Yeah, I think, yeah, Iceland, as I said, it really ruined any chance.
Mhm. And about the positive ones?
Luxembourg, of course, it's a very good closer. That summer vibe song, and yeah, it will have even more.
All right. Vani.
I do think, as I said before, that Cyprus is a bit damaged by the running order. Although it opens, I think the following songs are much more different. And I'd like to say Luxembourg, of course, as the hyped ones, because I do think that closing the show is almost a guaranteed qualification. Like it happened even with Serhat, even with Firog Flum in Denmark 2021, although they did not qualify thanks to the jury, but the televote were pretty high. So I think it can happen with any song, actually.
Yes, I think the most damaged one are Serbia because I feel like it's not only because it's the second version, but I think it's too soon for that kind of song. I would put Serbia in song number 4 or 5 if it were depending on me in that framework of the first half. I think also Iceland got not a very good position because it's after a very big favorite and quite in the beginning of the second half. And maybe surprising, maybe more, but I don't think we have mentioned it officially, but Poland, they're between the two very strong acts of that semi. Like Ukraine is before them, and after them we have Croatia. So yeah, I think it's not a good sign at all. But regarding the positive vibes, so Croatia, of course, they closed the first semi. It's a very good spot. Um, Also Luxembourg, and by the way, Portugal. I think that regarding that kind of ballad, the running order is really late. So I think they got the best, let's say, allocation for all the ballads. So maybe it can somehow be pushed. All right, so this is what we have thought about semifinal one. It's our prediction before the rehearsals. So everything can change after we watch some of the snippets of the rehearsals. We'll see which staging will elevate some of the song while which one will downgrade them, unfortunately. Semifinal one, I think it's a very open one, so that's why we have a lot of split here, but it's also very interesting to see. So guys, let us in the comments below, what is your prediction for the 10 qualifiers of semifinal one? Who will be the surprising non-qualifier? Who will qualify against all the odds? Will the odds will have the accurate list of the qualifiers? Let's see together. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to our channel right here below, and you can find us on escbeat.com, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and basically everywhere. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.